Hey, buddy. They don't bite. Did they bite?
Oh, no, they do not bite.
Hey, guys.
Not even a little bit.
Hey.
Yeah, so these are our chickens. Now, keeping in mind that we are a business, right? We're up here.
You're for profit?
We are a for-profit business.
Okay.
Our whole goal is to create a fiscally sustainable model for urban agriculture, a triple bottom line model, of course. We want to be good to the people and the planet, but none of that is going to do any good if we go bankrupt and go out of business. So profitability is like our primary goal, or certainly was our primary goal for the first couple of years that we were in business. And
how many years are you in business?
This is our 8th season.
Congratulations.
So it's been a minute. Thanks.
That's great.
Yeah, but when we first started farming, we were looking at per square revenue over the farm very, very carefully. And if anything didn't meet a certain goal in terms
got rid of it.
That was it. The chickens, financially speaking, are total dogs. The reason that we keep them here is because we partner with an educational nonprofit organization called City Growers to bring kids up to the farm.
Hence, my daughter was here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now your daughter is a lucky one. She's got corn and tomatoes growing on her terrace. But for a lot of the kids who visit, not only do they not have things growing at home, they don't get fresh foods at home. Because unfortunately, in 2017 in the United States, eating fresh, healthy foods is a privilege, not a right. And unfortunately, a lot of kids from New York City don't have that privilege. So, this stuff isn't like food to them. It doesn't connect that this is dinner. They come up here and I think they think like, oh, this is a nice park on a roof.
They think it's a park.
But when they meet the chickens, it kind of clicks into place for them that it's a farm. So that is why we kept the chickens around. And actually, these birds were raised by kids down the street in their classroom from chicks. They named them.
But so I know you're not making any money off the chickens.
Oh, no.
What you said, but the goal is that they're going to lay eggs and you're going to eat the eggs? Like, what are you selling from the chicken? How do you make any money off the chickens?
We really don't. We don't sell the eggs.
They're just a tourist attraction.
We take the eggs home, and they are delicious.
They are good eggs.
They're really good eggs. But but selling eggs in the United States comes with a whole lot of regulations.
Yeah.
And so
not worth it.
there's only 5 of them. They lay 6 eggs each a week.
Got it.
And they'll do that for probably the first year and a half, 2 years that they're laying. Then that'll dwindle, and then they'll stop laying altogether, but they'll live for several more years after that. So
interesting.
Yeah, the chickens are not paying their rent.
They're here for the kids.
They're bad tenants.
I got it.
Yeah. They're really here for the kids, and that's how they ended up with names like Justin Beaker. We've got Chicky.
Which one's Justin Beaker?
Minaj over there. I don't.
You don't know which one?
No.
These are pretty I mean, I don't know much about chickens, but I like the coloring. They're all kind of unique. Oh, so he's about to lay an egg. She, sorry.
No, that's all right. I don't know that she is.
She's just resting.
She's just resting.
Hey, you know what it was? It was wishful thinking. I wanted to see an egg. I've never seen that happen.
Well, they're supposed to lay them in there. They have like a little laying box that they go in.
We've got them in our house. We've got these doves that are like hanging out on our windowsill, and I think they've laid 3 times over the past 2 months, and they keep like going and coming back. It's kind of cool.
Are they chicks? Yeah, have they hatched?
One of them. I think one didn't make it, but one of them, yeah. And then she's sitting on top of the chick. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we keep looking there. My wife's into birds, so but I'm not really.
We like birds.
Yeah, no, I like them.
We like birds
but,
of prey.
Yeah.
Because they keep the other birds off the farm.
They keep the other birds off the farm.
And they're awesome. So we actually have a hawk painted on one of our shipping containers.
You do have that.
Yeah, we have a pair of red-tailed hawks that typically patrolled this farm. Although when building 77 here at the Navy Yards went into construction, they stopped coming around as much anymore, and our bird problem has since increased. The birds like to eat the seeds.
The seeds
of what we plant.
I got it.
Of anything we plant, that's a value.
So they're enemies.
Yeah, they're not our friends, that's for sure.
That I got.
But it's all part of the ecosystem.
Is there any correlation with what's it called, the supermarket that's coming in here? Wegmans, yeah.
I don't know how closely we'll work with them, but they did come up for a tour, and they are the.
So something I asked you earlier. What do you do in the wintertime?
Yeah, winter has always been a challenge for us. We're an outdoor seasonal farm. So we grow in greenhouses in the winter. We grow microgreens. And these are tiny little sprouts. I've got some here that we started cutting today. These are little sprouts that we cut for chefs who put them on plates, usually as a garnish. Yeah, get in there. Don't be shy. They're really, really flavorful. So this is both the most flavorful and the most nutritious stage of a plant's life. So tiny little sprout, big flavor.
This is what? This is like used for, just grab it and you throw it in a salad for flavor.
Or you might put, picture a beautiful
is it a garnish?
Fish.
Garnish?
Yeah, and then you've got some nice little leaves placed on top like that. Add some color and some flavor to the dish. Now, this is important for us because A, it's a great revenue stream. These microgreens that we grow in the greenhouse, they tend to net more per square foot than anywhere that we're growing anything out in the field, except maybe these edible flowers, which are delicious. These are nasturtiums, but we grow all different types of edible flowers. But revenue aside, it's important to have... Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll get you right in the face right
at
the
end. That is
end.
so good.
Yeah,
my God.
Oh, good. We like having something for our farmers to do. It helps us keep folks on salary right through the winter, so they still receive benefits.
Is that what you're saying? Sorry, so this is what you do in the winter?
Yeah, this is winter.
This
just
right here.
Microgreens right in the greenhouse.
And then what? This gets shut down from what? December, November?
This is under snow. Yeah, I mean our tomatoes will call it quits probably in sometime in late September. We'll keep growing salad greens and other cold hardier crops through. Sometimes even we'll bring stuff home for Christmas if we've had a mild year. But we typically stop selling sometime between late October and mid-November. And then we're just growing microgreens in our greenhouse over the winter. We're also, those of us who work on the business side, we're in meetings with potential landlords. We are in meetings with clients for whom we're designing and building a green space. Our director of events can often be found up here in a blizzard with a couple that just got engaged over the holidays and now they're here to check out their venue.
Wow.
So, cool. It's like blowing snow and wind, and she's like, if you can picture this covered in sunflowers.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's a tough sell, but
that's so random. How often do you have weddings up here?
Almost every Saturday, mid-May through October.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of weddings.
It's a lot of weddings.
It's a really special place to tie the knot.
I mean, pretty amazing. The views are pretty amazing.
Yeah,
too.
My sister got married here, so I'm not exactly objective.
Well, you said you're engaged, right? Are you getting married here too?
I'm getting married in the Catskills because for me at the end
no
of the
explanation.
Day, it is still work.
It is still work. It is still work.
It is still work.
That's funny. Hey, let me grab this.
You want to try some tomatoes?
Totally.
Never say no to that question.
Of course.
So, tomatoes do a really terrific job of just looking miserable most of the time. But even when they're at their most miserable looking, they're often still really tasty. Now, also keep in mind, we just had our big wholesale harvest today, so we've got hundreds and hundreds of pounds of tomatoes going out for orders tomorrow. So these have just been picked. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work here to find good ripe ones. But I suspect...
What color are you looking for?
These are sun gold. So for these, you want these like bright orange hued. These are some that have fallen on the ground here. You want a really bright, deep orange. But for some of our other cool, funky cultivars, you're gonna find other interesting colors. So
I love it when, I love this, when the green and the red.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
Yeah, look at that.
That's an heirloom tomato, right?
This is an heirloom tomato. It's just shy of ripe, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway, just so you can get an idea of what it's going to taste like.
Oh yeah. That was pretty good.
This is a ripe-ish sun gold. That's going to be my favorite. It's just a really classic cherry tomato flavor. Really a nice... Is that a sun? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
you got to try this.
Yeah, dude. Unbelievable.
The best one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and so you can see we're
growing look at those.
They're
beautiful.
Types. Yeah, these are actually going to end up deepening in color and kind of turning a little bit less exciting shade of red. But You know, tomatoes every year, they're such divas. They always look terrible at a certain point. And our farmers have learned a really important thing about farming, which is that you are not your farm. You can't look at these terrible looking tomatoes and think, what have I done wrong? You are not your farm. So that's
like it does, like it's out of your hands sometimes.
It's out of your hands. And you know what? Look,
it's Mother
at the end of the
Nature.
day, they're still producing. They're still producing great fruit. They just like to do this because they put all this energy into producing fruit, so they can't put energy into, you know, making sure their foliage is receiving everything it needs.
So you said that the chickens were like your biggest dog on the farm. What's your biggest moneymaker?
In terms of field crops, probably different. Yeah, certain types. Well, it's tough because tomatoes go for the highest price, right? Everybody loves an heirloom tomato. People will spend top dollar on it. But when you factor in the amount of time that your staff is spending planting these, trellising them, I mean, these have been, believe it or not, as bad as they look. I told you it's windy up here. These have been very carefully trellised and staked. So when you net out all that labor cost, because we don't have mechanisms up here, you know, we don't have tractors, we don't have other efficiency tools that other farms enjoy. It's all by hand. So our labor costs are high. So when you net out all the labor and you actually look at the amount produced per square foot, it starts to look a little bit less attractive than something like salad greens, which is really efficient. Probably the highest netting crop up here are peppers.
Interesting.
Certain types of specialty, like seasoning peppers. Yeah, they just are really tremendously prolific. And they don't take quite as much work as the tomatoes. Not nearly.
Yeah, but you would say the if you're talking gross, then the tomatoes.
Yeah, probably. Certainly microgreens are up there. But in terms of field crops, yeah, that's going to be, tomatoes are up there. These are a fun one. For those of you who are real estate folks, these are sunchokes. They're in the sunflower family, and I love these because they get nice and tall, so they can add a little bit of privacy to a space. If you plant these in like a box on a terrace, you could kind of block your neighbor from view and still have something delicious and edible. Underneath the soil here are tubers. They're Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had them on some of the plates you've eaten around town. Fun fact about them, we call them around here Jerusalem fartichokes because they are
they're like beans.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's funny. Oh, this is amazing. So what are they doing over here right now?
Right now we are getting set up for a yoga class, which happens every Monday night. But this space has been transformed into some really incredible setups for events. We do private events for private clients, everything from birthday parties to product launches. We do weddings here every Saturday. It's just a really great way to use this space when it's not being used as a farm, because that's the whole point of this project, right? Is to take this unutilized space up here on a rooftop and activate it and have it work for our community and be something cool in our community that brings people happiness and a little bit of hope and maybe some optimism, sense of possibility. So we try and share that space not just with the kids who visit through our educational nonprofit and the folks who come up for compost workshops, but also folks who are celebrating a special occasion in their life or just really want a lovely place to spend a really special evening.
Oh, it's amazing. Honestly, I'm at a loss of words, and that doesn't happen very often.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for having us, and this is amazing.
Yeah. Last thing I'd say is any folks out there at home who want to visit Brooklyn Grange, we're open every Saturday at our Long Island City, Queens location from 11 to 4 through mid-November. And for those of you out there who want your own green space, give us a call. Even if all you have is a little terrace. I mean, your wife is walking proof.
She's doing it. She's doing it.
You can have your own little garden at home. It is possible. You can grow whatever you want wherever you are.
Love it. Love
Awesome.
it. We'll throw your website on there too so people can find you guys.
Awesome. Hey,
thank you so much
for coming. This has been a real treat.
Amazing. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Now I'm hooked to your tomatoes.
Yes.
Now
that's how we get you.
I'm gonna have to come here and just be like, I need more tomatoes.